KPBS reporter Amitha Sharma has been following this case for years. And Amitha, who is Jihad Mustafa and what can you tell us about his background?
Jihad Mustafa is a man either in his late 20s or early 30s. He's the son of an American mother and a Syrian father. He grew up in San Diego and he earned a bachelor's degree from UC San Diego.
How did he become what people are calling radicalized?
You know, Peggy, it's not exactly clear how he allegedly became radicalized. What we know from sources is that at some point, 14 or 15 years ago, Jihad Mustafa met Anwar al-Awlaki, who is the former leader of the Al-Qaeda of the Arab Peninsula. Awlaki was killed by a U.S. drone a couple of years ago. And then Awlaki leaves and he goes to Yemen. In 05 or 06, the FBI says that Mustafa traveled to Yemen as well, where he taught English at a university that was affiliated with Awlaki. Now, officials say at some later point, Mustafa, who's married to a Somali woman, traveled to Somalia. And in 2009, a federal grand jury in San Diego indicted Mustafa on 3 counts of providing material support to Al-Shabaab, which is believed to be a terrorist organization that is affiliated with Al-Qaeda.
Does the FBI or authorities know where he is right now? They know what country he's in?
They believe he is in Somalia. They won't comment on what they think his role with Al-Qaeda might be, but various published reports quoting intelligence officials have said that he has risen to the role of field commander for Al-Shabaab. They say that he is now a key liaison between Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. It's just not clear.
I know there's some concern over what's being called his low profile. Why the concern?
Well, Jihad Mustafa has brown hair, he has blue eyes, he has fair skin, he grew up in America, he knows the American mindset, he knows how Americans live, and he carries a U.S. passport, which is considered to be invaluable to a terrorist organization. At the same time, he's not someone who shows up on YouTube videos singing rap music trying to recruit people to Al-Shabaab. So people may not connect him with a terrorist group. Now, I spoke with UCSD professor Ellie Sherman, who has written a book on terrorism, and he says it's that aspect of Mustafa that makes him a bigger threat.
He doesn't meet the profiles of the normal people, the usual people that we're working with, that we look for, and he fits in well, right? He's from San Diego. I think he even has an economics degree, right? God help us. And so this is a guy that would be very difficult to identify and who'd be very difficult to prevent from accessing targets. And so that alone would make him dangerous, not knowing anything else about him because he's unusual.
So he's unusual, but he's also part of the group Al-Shabaab, who has, there's been dozens of Americans who have joined this group. Is that group actively recruiting in the U.S. and here in San Diego?
It appears that some of that recruitment has focused on Minnesota, which has more than 30,000 Somalis living there. And I think something like more than 24 Somalis have left Minnesota to join Al-Shabaab. Here in San Diego, I don't know of anyone other than Mustafa who has left. And I know that his path didn't go directly to Somalia. There is another link to Al-Shabaab, however, in San Diego. Last year, 4 men of Somali descent were convicted of providing material support to Al-Shabaab.
And so what happens now? Now the authorities might know where he is, he's eluding them. What happens now?
Well, a year ago, the FBI put Jihad Mustafa on its most wanted terrorist list with a $5 million reward for anyone who has information leading to his capture. Those posters are on the World Wide Web. It depends on who accesses them and who sees them and who turns over the information. At the same time, however, the U.S. has stepped up its drone strikes in Somalia. They've also stepped up special forces operations there as well.
Well, I'm sure you will keep us up to date. KPBS Amitha Sharma, thank you so much.
Thank you, Peggy.